Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, beautiful people? This is episode 56, the House of Moody Vintage podcast. Great to be back. A little late. I gotta be honest with you. I got a few things to talk about. Okay, a few things came up shockingly, and it really is it signifies your age and your generation. Okay, some of it was some of the topics I'll be talking about. It's something that happened over the weekend. There's a lot going on right now in the world, just in general, but a few other things, personal experiences and conversations, and you guys, I've said this so many times before, right? I just love conversations. I love it, whether it's I'm listening to a podcast or being in part of one that isn't recorded, that's sort of unfiltered, and there's no there's no censorship. You know what I mean? Those kind of raw type of conversations, right? Well, you know what? Let's dive right into it. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about how my damn weekend went or whatever. It was great as usual, and I had a fantastic weekend end to it, and I love my job as usual. The people I work with, my original fam bam, who my friends who are family to me, all that stuff. Great. Nothing's changed. Fantastic. I love everybody. Okay. Great experience. So look, I was so hyped to talk about, I have this type of energy right now where I know where it's coming from. I'm not questioning it. I'm just diving right into it. So that's what you got to do. Just go with the roll. Now, oh my God. Okay. I wanted to dive into that. And then I realized the conversations that I have with my friends some of it, look, some of it can get really deep, right? Some of it can get really deep because, we've all been through our own little struggles and situations. And at the end of the day, sometimes it just feels a little petty. You know what I mean? A little petty. That's probably one of the worst things you can do is actually compare your life to someone else's and then feel shitty about yourself. But, listen, everyone has their own shit to deal with. But then I'm scrolling through Instagram, right? And I see the latest news that pops up. The founder of Cash App, okay, Bob Lee, he was stabbed to death in San Francisco. I'm like, what the fuck? What? And, San Fran, man, the city of San Francisco is crazy, right? It's crazy. It's weird. It's wild, right? And just the state of California is just freaking nuts, and has been nuts for for quite some time, right? So, but it's so. Life, the universe, Earth, whatever the fuck, they don't care if you're just a regular old Joe Schmo or a freaking billionaire. Anybody can just come up and do something heinous and horrifying. I didn't want to start the podcast off on that note. I'm just saying, take this time to live in the moment. Count your goddamn blessings. I keep telling this to people all the damn time. Count your goddamn blessings and just be grateful for the things you have in life. Not what you don't have, but things you do have. Please. Because that's nuts. He was just stabbed to death in fucking San Francisco, Other places in other cities in the States probably won't be as surprising, I don't know, like Baltimore or something, or another city has a high crime rate, you know what I mean? Not surprising there. But like I said, you could be anybody. You could be someone of note, you could be a completely just stranger nobody knows about, and boom, it's done, I hate that. That's crazy. Which makes me realize all the other topics that I'm going to be discussing today on the agenda is bullshit, okay? So with that disclaimer, okay, keep that in mind. So what I'm going to discuss and my grievances with the younger generation is bullshit, okay? It's bullshit. It's just for fun. It's slight annoyance, but, at the end of the day, ultimately, it's not altering anyone's lives. Wow, I just had a brain fart there. It's not altering anybody's lives, It is what it is. Okay, it's just for entertainment purpose. That's what I do this podcast thing. Because to me, it's an outlet, right? It's a creative outlet. That's all. I'm not doing it for views or whatever. Although I would like more viewers and listeners, of course. More people do listen to this. People I know personally, and people who I don't know as personally, but I know them because I see them almost every other day. Which reminds me, I gotta watch what the fuck I say. Apologies. Anyways, so so a lot of things going on, as I mentioned. Listen, the UFC, okay, and WWE, okay, Ari Emanuel and Vince McMahon, who, by the way, you gotta stop, Vince. All that, just embrace your age, homie, you know? You look like I think there was this really funny tweet by one of the accounts I follow, and he pretty much said it right. Vince McMahon looks like Vicente McMahon. You know, he got the whole Latino vibes, little Cubano mustache. You know, the thin mustache. You know, Vicente or Vicente. I don't know. You would call it Vicente is Italian. My apologies. But yeah, it's hilarious, and a lot of people were freaking out. But then, of course, news came out, and it's official. It's the UFC. Relax, the UFC's not going to change. It's not going to get all like freaking it's not going to be a script, so to speak. The way WWE does things. It's just a money grab, as usual. That's how billionaires do their thing. You know what I mean? Like, you make money, and you take any opportunities and to make more money. You know what I mean? That's what billionaires want. They want to do more money. And this is just one of those businesses. But you will see a lot of crossovers now. You guarantee that. You might finally see, Conor McGregor and the WWE. And, just walking down the ramp before he gets into the ring and asking, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck are you? So, yeah, it's, those kind of things, So, look, I'm actually looking forward to that. It's going to be wacky, I think. At least the WWE. I honestly do not think the UFC is going to... It's just going to be a chance for both organizations to promote their shit in a different, arena, different audience kind of deal, right? For the most part, I don't think UFC is going to be really affected by it because that's actual real fighting. You know what I mean? And listen, so it's at the end of the day, it's fucking sports entertainment, from WWE. I think when you have two behemoths, especially when it comes to, combat sports, and I mean, WWE is not a combat sport, but it's, it's a sports entertainment. But, there's fighting in both, right? These physical athletes, these huge, fucking humongous guys and gals, these badass gals out there, beating the bloody shit out of each other. It's all for fun, okay? So people don't need to freak out about this merger. Merger by, who was it? I think it was, was it? Damn it. What's Ari Emanuel's company? Endeavor, yeah. Ari is a very, very powerful man in Hollywood, by the way. If you don't know, he is actually the inspiration to Ari Gold, played by Jeremy Piven in Entourage, in the HBO series Entourage, one of my favorite shows of all time. That's where it comes from. Ari Gold is inspired by Ari Emanuel. Anyways, if you haven't seen that, what the hell are you missing out? Okay, go on. Listen, HBO. Listen, there's somebody that I know in my life, this wonderfully talented, well-read, intelligent, beautiful woman who refuses to get HBO. Just get it. I'm telling you, you're not missing out. You love Harry Potter so much, get on HBO. You will get it anytime you want. Stream it. Okay, there's fantastic episodes of all these critically acclaimed television series, okay, and movies, but television series. That's what HBO does. So please, okay, you know who I'm talking to. I know you're listening. Get HBO, or just borrow my goddamn login, because I'm annoyed at this point, okay, with your reluctancy of like, oh my god, but I want to watch it on TV. I'm like, well, just download the app on your TV. You gotta all TVs now are like smart TVs. You don't even need to call it smart TV because it's already there. Gosh, I hate to put you on blast, but Jesus, woman. Anyways, I'm just kidding. I love you, but no, but seriously, like, get your shit together. Anyways, talking about competition, this much love right there. I say it out of love and respect. Okay, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Unnecessary controversy. I don't get this. Okay, people were hating on Reese, and look, Angel Reese is, of course, she plays for LSU. We're talking about March Madness. We're talking about women's basketball, collegiate women's basketball, NCAA Division I. Caitlin Clark plays for Iowa, and Angela Reese plays for LSU. Okay, now LSU won the national title, first title in that program's history. Iowa could have done the same. Anyways, it was the first for both teams. Congratulations to both teams. They had fantastic seasons, went all the way to the finals. It's just, that's what you want to see. And I was very excited to see that women's basketball getting more attention, and at the collegiate level on top of that. I have always been a fan, and I don't know, maybe it's just the level of competition is different. You want it more, there's more passion, where money isn't too much involved. I mean, now obviously the rules have changed. Athletes are able to, have endorsement deals and stuff in college, which they fucking deserve, 100% deserve. If you're good enough, your ass got to get paid. Get that bag, all right? Now, anyways, with that said, competition. This is what competition's all about in sports. Okay, so for those who don't know, Angel Reese did the, you can't see me hand gesture, which a lot of people famously know, is from John Cena. Now, John Cena did not invent that. He himself, of course, said in an interview that, I was inspired by Tony Yayo. Okay, I know a lot of you kids don't know who the fuck Tony Yayo is. God damn it. I'm sorry. My voice just went up. I'm a little frustrated with the young kids nowadays, but I'll get to it. I'll get to that in a bit, right after these messages. Now John Cena got it from Tony Yayo, right? The you can't see me hand gesture, right? I just did it on the camera. If you're watching on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. And of course, John Cena just made it famous. Anyways, besides the point. So she does that, and then she points at her ring finger like, hey, this is we got the title. We're the champions. Put that ring on the finger. Put that national title ring on our fingers. She did that in Caitlin Clark's face after they won. Okay? Now, I can see why, if you're the opponent, you would be annoyed because we just fucking lost and now they're just shoving it in our face. But I'm sorry, that's just sports. Okay? People don't understand. I don't know where this snowflake shit, get it out. Get it the fuck out. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Okay? It doesn't matter what sport it is. And usually in team sports, you're not going to see it too much in, individual sports. You're not going to see it in golf or tennis. It's not part of the, the environment. You know what I'm saying? It's I don't want to say it's more sophisticated, but there's certain rules and regulations and unwritten rules, I should say, in those individual sports, right? So anyways, the team sports, especially in basketball, football, American football, and football, world football, or football mundial, the World Cup. Anyways, besides the point, people are going to talk trash, okay? For those who have grown up playing sports like me, okay, we talk so much shit to each other, whether it's our friends, whether it's fucking complete strangers and our opponents or whatever playing against each opponent. We're always talking mad shit. Not everyone does that, but there are players who talk shit, okay? Now, Angel Reese did that because Caitlin Clark, who, by the way, is a goddamn baller, okay? Okay, you know what I'm saying? I think another player from LSU said something about, I don't know, she was talking trash about Caitlin, come at me or something. I don't know what it is, but that was dumb because it's hey, okay, you won the championship, you won the title, but Caitlin Clark still put up 30 against you. 30 points. What are you bragging about? She still spent and before that, she had a 41 point game. That's fucking insane. for women's basketball, collegiate basketball, that's crazy. Okay? Caitlin Clark is a baller. I'm a fucking fan. If I get the opportunity to, I don't know, somehow get my hands on a Caitlin Clark Iowa jersey, okay? An Iowa home jersey with number 22, Caitlin Clark on the back and number 22 on the front as well. But I will, I don't know who hook me up. I don't know who's listening to this right now, but please hook me up. I will buy that shit. I will buy it and support the shit out of it because Caitlin Clark is a goddamn baller and I'm a fan. Okay? So this isn't about whatever. Anyways, besides the point. So Angel Reese, she be doing this all the time, and just because she's black, obviously, like, oh my God, she's too hood and all this stuff. And it's just dumb. It's like, why are the men allowed to do it? Why can't the women talk shit to each other? Like, I love seeing that. I hope that this is a new rivalry between Iowa and LSU, right? And we see more of players like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese where they're balling out of control and they're talking shit while they're doing it. That mean streak. That's what separates the GOATs from just average players. And I love seeing that. I don't know, maybe I'm just too old school, but I don't think it's even an old school thing because these athletes are in college right now, playing at the highest level. These are elite athletes in Division I, university programs, whether it's basketball, like I said, whatever sport it is, right? I love seeing that. So it's not even, I don't think it's a generational thing at all. I just think some people are just different from other people. It's like, anyways, I think it was just too much hoopla about nothing. Leave it be, okay? Let the ladies fucking ball and let the ladies talk shit to each other. That's dope. That's what I want to see in sports. More of that. That competition comes out. That passion comes out. But leave it on the court, obviously. Don't get personal and shit off the court. That's different, all right? You got to know where to draw the line. Don't be stupid. So yeah, that's, anyways, shout out to Caitlin Clark. She's an absolute baller. It was just sad not seeing her win the whole thing. There was some controversies with the officiating and all that stuff, but I don't know. I'm not too close to it because, I'm a UCLA fan, a UCLA and UConn fan. When the Bruins get knocked out, I'm like rooting for UConn, and I'm glad UConn won because I was supporting Huskies UConn since Khalid Al-Amin. Y'all remember that baller? A baller, okay? Rip Hamilton and Khalid Al-Amin. Those two were wreaking havoc in college basketball back in the day. UConn. I used to have Khalid Al-Amin's jersey too. Oversized and shit, because that's how we used to do it back in the early 2000s. Everything was oversized. All the baggy stuff. All the kids that are wearing nowadays, baggy stuff, we started that shit. We did. Okay? Some of us didn't, some of us looked better than others, but, it's besides the point. Anyways, so talking about the whole generational gap, I love the segues that are happening so far in the episode, okay? Man, I had a conversation today with a youngin', and I love her to death. Let's just get it out of the way, okay? I love this girl to death, all right? Kindred spirits, you know what I mean? Generational gap, huge generational gap, but we get along. And I absolutely adore her. So this is not obviously this is not a personal attack. I just want to talk about this because it bothered me, okay? So something came up. We were hanging out. Well, no, we weren't hanging out. We were trying to work, but oh shit, I need to edit that out. No one heard that. Okay, we were working. Okay, we were doing some research on social media. All right, and there's an artist, one of the members of One Direction. Okay, for those who don't know, pop group out of England, out of the UK. One Direction, Harry Styles. Zayn Malik. So one of the members is, I guess he's performing or something in Thailand or whatever. And she said, oh, it's not a big deal. He's like, whatever, and I was like, whatever, wait. So what are you saying? I mean, what was the other one? Liam or something? Liam, right? I think that's the other member's name, right? That's not who she was mentioning. Anyways, I don't know all the fucking members of wow, I was going to say the other band, which I'm about to bring up. But okay, you know what? I don't want to get this wrong. hold on. Okay, Liam. I said Liam, right? Okay. Anyways. So so the other one, I think, is it? Whether it was Niall Horan. I just butchered his name. I apologize. Neil Oren. Okay, I just silenced the H. Apologies. Kill me later. So yeah, Liam Payne. I know Liam. I know. Okay, Lewis Tomlinson. I guess he's less famous. I don't know. Listen, there's 5 members to fucking One Direction, okay? Just like Backstreet Boys, just like goddamn NSYNC. Anyways, so when she brought the guy's name up, and I was like, oh, so what are you saying? He's like the Lance Bass of One Direction? Is that what you're saying? And she's like, who? I'm like, I'm sorry, but did you just say who? Who's Lance Bass? You know? Listen. In retrospect, I was now that I look back at it, it was a dumb comparison because I don't even remember the other 2 members. I forgot about Neil and Lewis. Is it Lewis? Lewis Tomlinson? Yeah, okay. I don't want to offend anybody or disrespect. And I knew Liam, so I knew Harry Styles, Zayn, and Liam. Okay, and Neil, I think he did like an solo album. I'm not sure. Lewis, I don't think he does anything. I don't know. Obviously, they're not as famous as Harry Styles and Zayn, right? Duh. Okay. So, anyways, she didn't know who Lance Bass was. I was offended because I'm like, how you not know Lance Bass? Like, hello, NSYNC? And she's like, oh, I've heard of them. You've heard of them? What? Who are you talking to? Your neighbor's fucking grandma? You heard of them? Are we gossiping now? So I'm like, how do you not know? It's NSYNC, and of course, the saving grace was she knew who Backstreet Boys. She knew who Backstreet Boys was. So I was like, okay, you know Backstreet Boys though, right? She's like, yeah, okay. I'm like, okay, cool. At least you know Backstreet Boys, but NSYNC. How you not know NSYNC? Lance Bass, because now, I said Lance Bass because, of course, when I say we, us old ass people, right? Because we come from that era. Now, when we think of NSYNC, right? Who's the most famous one? Justin Timberlake. Duh. Everybody knows Justin Timberlake, okay? And then who's the second one? JC Chazé, And then Lance Bass, right? And then maybe Joey Fatone, if you remember Joey Fatone. And Christopher, no one really cared about Chris. I'm sorry, Chris. And so that to me was the likely that was a likely comparison. I thought, oh, okay. So are you saying that it's the Lance? He's the Lance of the group, not as famous, And Chris Kirkpatrick, nobody gives, He's probably famous because of Eminem. But anyways, that's besides the point. So I just found that I was like, dang, she don't even know NSYNC, bro. Like, I know this is gonna cause a lot of controversy. Okay, I don't care, but I'm an NSYNC dude. I'm an NSYNC fan. I like NSYNC over Backstreet Boys. I'm sorry, kill me. I don't whatever. I'm an NSYNC fan. I'm sorry, and I love the Backstreet Boys. Don't get me wrong, but I'm definitely NSYNC. If I had to choose and that was my choice, it had to be a choice. It'd be NSYNC. Okay, talking about generational gap, we're gonna continue, and we're gonna stay in the category of music. Okay, so only old heads would probably know this. All right, Bally Sagoo. Okay, I got excited. I'll tell you why, because Bally Sagoo is coming to Bangkok. Okay. He's coming to Bangkok. He's going to be doing, performing or whatever with, I think a local, DJ Ash. I think DJ Ash is going to be playing. I think so. If I read the poster thing correctly. I don't know. Anyways, Bally Sagoo coming to town. And again, okay, this was a different conversation. All right. With more people. of different ages. Okay, nobody knew who Bally Sagoo was, and I mean, I think maybe one or two actually, knew who he was, but maybe not a fan. And I was like, yo, I got excited. I'm like, Bally Sagoo, he coming to town. He gonna be in town. We gonna go, and I'm gonna meet him. I don't care. Because let me tell you something about Bally Sagoo, man. Okay. Now this is how this is back in the day. Okay, he was famous in the 90s, early 2000s. Okay, I grew up in California, and if you're Desi, if you're South Asian, if you're Desi or Deshi, shout out to my Deshis. Bally Sagoo growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, right? We know Bally Sagoo. And when no one said anything, in my head, I was like, how do you guys not know Bally Sagoo? How do you not know Bally Sagoo? That's not how you say his name, but because to me, the first thing that popped every time I think about Bally Sagoo is like, you think that remix, which technically, now that I think about it, it's not actually a remix of, Chura Liya Hai Tumne, which by the way is my favorite, the most favorite Hindi song from a Indian movie of all time. It's my favorite Hindi song, okay? Chura liya hai tumne jo dil ko. Like, that's to me, that's my favorite all time favorite song, right? So, and I get a little uneasy when people remix the like classics, or they redo classics, they remake them, whatever. And technically this wasn't a remix, right? This is back in the 90s. Bally Sagoo took the song, right? But he had other people do the vocals. There were two different singers that are not obviously the original singers. They're not the original singers. So technically it wasn't a remix. They just redid it, right? He redid it with a heavy ass bass, because we used to love that shit back in the 90s, baby. And he just made it into a fucking seductive ass dance song, which when I first heard, I blew my fucking mind, because that was my favorite song of all time. It still is my favorite song of all time. And so that's what pops up, and Bally Sagoo is not just that. He did other like hits, Aja Na Chale, Aja Na Chale, you know what I mean? What else? He did there was another remix of Gore Naale Ishq Metha Ho, like those are classics. Old ass people listening to this right now, you know what I'm talking about. God damn it. And I'm excited to see him. So, you might see him. You might see Bally Sagoo on my Instagram soon. I'm just saying, be prepared. Okay, be prepared. Yo, man, shout out to Bally Sagoo, man. Man, I can't wait to talk to him. Be like, yo, man, I remember he had an album, okay, called Dance and Romance. All right, this is early 2000s, and I remember me and my boys, we drove to Artesia. Sorry, we say Artesia. We went to Artesia, and Artesia is basically Little India, okay, in California, in Southern California. And so obviously all the Desi ass folk would go there, or South Asian people would go there. And I don't know, I can't remember why I went. Oh, right. So one of my friends, he was like, he used to DJ and stuff, and produce music and remixes and all that stuff too. He was all into that. So he just wanted to go down and get some like records and shit. So me and my boys, we got in my Beamer, we drove, and we were so on the way back, we popped that album in my car, okay? And it was the four of us. I was driving, my boys, the passenger side and in the back, sitting in the back, whatever. And I swear to God, on the way home, on the freeway from Artesia to, Canyon Country, that's not my hometown. Shout out to Canyon Country, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Santa Clarita Valley. What's up? Suburbs? No, but we gangsta like that. On all the way there. And, mind you, this drive is like, given traffic and shit, probably an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. Anyways, we listened to the entire album. No, didn't skip a single track of Dance and Romance. We were transfixed. We were mesmerized, hypnotized, whatever you want to fucking call it, all the way through from our way home from Artesia. That album was so dope by, again, Bally Sagoo, right? It was his new shit. We were like, oh man, he dropped new shit. I will never forget that night. So You know what? I'm gonna tell him that when I meet him, when I meet Bally Sagoo, I'm like, man, hey man, Mr. Bally Sagoo, Mr. Bally, um, me and my boys love the Dance of Romance album, son, and it stuck with us for a very long time. Okay, grown ass. Like now that I'm a grown ass man, how old is Bally Sagoo? He probably in his, damn. I'm thinking if he was in his 20s, maybe in the 90s. How old is he now? Is he in his 50s? He probably in his 50s. I don't know. You know, I'm pretty old too. So, anyways, besides the point. So, shout out to Bally Sagoo. All right, if I get the chance, I'm gonna shake the hand. I'm gonna shake the hands of that man, and tell him that's what's up, man. Thank you for those memories. Okay, and for possibly giving us one of the greatest remakes of all time. And I still bump that. I started this podcast late because I wanted to hear it one more time before starting. I was just hype. I was just hyped up. And people in the room, by the way, the people that were in this conversation, and if you're listening to this podcast, you know who you are. Everyone was just looking at me weird and shit. Like, oh my God. Like, okay, he's OG. Yeah, Bally Sagoo's OG, okay? All right? He's an old cool guy. Cool old guy. Nobody knew who this cool old guy is, you know? And then someone told me, oh, like you the old cool guy. I'm not going to name any names. You know who you are. You made that comment and it was very offensive. Okay? I don't like being around ageists. Okay? All you ageists out there, I don't appreciate it. Okay? Because you know what? I appreciate the people who actually aren't ageists. Okay, and like appreciate my being of me just being me. Okay, no matter how old I am, just for your information. Okay, your information biologically, I'm really old, but like, my youth is 20 years younger. Okay, maybe 15. Okay, maybe 10. Let's keep it. Let's not exaggerate it. Maybe 10. I'm entering my 30s now. Spiritually, or by my soul or something, or what's it called? My heart. But in my heart, I'm 20. In my 20s, I don't know. Listen, I'm just making up for my 20s and my 30s. Okay, don't judge me. Anyways, with that said, ladies and gentlemen. As I, self-deprecate here. So shout out to NSYNC, shout out to Caitlin Clark and fucking Bally Sagoo, okay? God damn it. All right. And all those old people, all the old cool people, all right? We're going to go on to the recommendation of the week. Now look, my recommendation of the week is not new. Okay? It's not new. But it's very interesting because both of these shows are coming to an end. It's the last season for both shows. And these two shows they'll probably go down, maybe not yours, but probably in mine as the top 10 TV shows of all time. And, and it's not just about like, the storytelling, or, you're not really isolating just the performances or just the direction or the storytelling or the writing and production level and all that stuff. It's not just isolated, just those categories, but just overall enjoyment and also overall just entertainment, right? And I'm talking about Apple TV Plus's Ted Lasso. It's the final season of the main, Ted's like main plot storyline thing. Okay. They're talking about doing spinoffs or whatever, but, excuse me. But for that, see my old ass, is dealing with, gas and hiccups and shit. Anyways. Listen, it's a reality. Get with the program. Anyways. So, so Ted Lasso, Apple TV Plus. This is one of the most wholesome shows you will ever watch. If you haven't watched it yet, I actually know people who have not seen it yet. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed when I say this, and everyone trusts my taste when it comes to movies and television. So I'm saying right now, okay, please watch Ted Lasso if you haven't seen it. It's the last season. For those who don't know, it's 3 seasons, and I get it. Some of you have commitment issues. who don't want to get a freaking HBO subscription, who refuse to because it's inconvenient. Anyways. And which reminds me, so it's not just Ted Lasso. It's three seasons. It's not that big of a fucking task, okay? As I mentioned, HBO also has Succession. Succession is such a damn good show, okay? It's in its fourth and final season. It is fourth season. I just want to double check if it's not the fifth. Succession. Okay, so yeah, it's a comedy drama. I'm just double checking with y'all. I don't want to fuck this up. Season 4. It's season 4, right? Please tell me. Please, yeah, 4. Yeah, season 4. I'm just double checking. I don't know, for some reason I thought it was 5. I wish there was season 5, but these are one of the things that actually make sense because HBO is so good at this. They have such great critically acclaimed shows that you just can't miss out on. And you, like I said, you know me, if I recommend a fucking show, especially when it comes on HBO, excuse my language, please watch it, okay? Especially in HBO. HBO will not let you down, okay? And the HBO is also going ahead. WB and HBO are going ahead. Of course, WB, same company. They're coming out with a Harry Potter series on HBO. So excited. Some people are iffy about it. I'm like, no, trust me. It's fucking HBO, okay? HBO don't do wrong. They don't do wrong. They've been in this game for decades, okay? Before there was a Netflix and Amazon Prime and Apple TV Plus and all that shit. They've been doing this way, way before them, okay? So trust in HBO. I'm telling you, when of course the Harry Potter series comes out, I don't know when it goes into development, but or pre-production or whatever, but it's coming out. It's got the green light. So I get it. More money. J.K. Rowling's just gonna make just more fucking money, and might as well do it while she's alive, because she's just it'd be a disaster if she had nothing to do with it. Then you probably would have issues. I don't know, but HBO can't go wrong. Succession is one of them. It's the 4th season. Again, highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, it's about the Roy family. It's known for controlling the biggest media and entertainment company in the world. Obviously inspired by some media families that we all know of in the world. However, the world changes when their father steps down from the company. Ew. And then, of course, drama ensues. So it's an HBO original. Watch it. It's called Succession. If you haven't seen it, I'm telling you right now, you've missed out. You're missing out. It's an adult comedy, right? So please don't watch it with your family. But yeah, the family dynamic and just everything all around. I've talked about this show before, just everything. I'm talking about the writing, the performances, the editing, the direction, just the whole production. It's everything. It's just the storytelling is brilliant. And I think you really get a really good understanding of what rich ass people go through, rich ass families go through, when it comes to these kind of situations. Especially when when it revolves around money and the dysfunctionality of rich ass families. Anyways, so yeah, with that said, guys, I'm gonna wrap things up here in the House of Moody Vintage podcast. Thank you for listening, whether it's on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching on YouTube. And a shout out to all those old ass motherfuckers out there like me, cause let me tell you something, we still fine. You know what I'm saying? You can handle this fineness. Forget y'all. No, I'm just kidding. Listen up. It's all jokes, people. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, it's all jokes. Chill out, relax. We all like to self-deprecate and make fun of each other. Don't take life too seriously. So take it easy on each other. Love each other. And take care of yourselves. And each other. All right? Love yourselves and treat yourselves. And that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. This is episode 56. I will see you next time. And I'm out. I'm out of here. Peace.